Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
Imagine a moment when the entire entertainment industry holds its breath, when reconciliation seems within reach, but one small gesture changes everything. Tonight on Update X24H, we uncover the shocking twist. Liu Yuning's secret mediation, Zhao Lusi's near reconciliation with her agency, and the unforgettable refusal to shake hands. Stay with us because what you're about to hear will challenge everything you thought you knew about stardom, loyalty, and courage. In the months leading up to this extraordinary revelation, the entertainment industry was buzzing with whispers of unrest surrounding Zhao Lusi and her agency, Cool Entertainment. What had once appeared to be a flourishing partnership began to fracture under the weight of constant disputes over scheduling, creative control, and the choice of projects that would shape the trajectory of her career. As one of the brightest rising stars in Chinese cinema and television, Zhao Lusi carried not only her own ambitions, but also the expectations of millions of devoted fans who had followed her ascent. Yet behind the glamour, the reality was a storm quietly gathering force. Insiders described the atmosphere as tense and volatile, with meetings ending in deadlock and negotiations collapsing before they could even begin. Each side held firmly to its own position, unwilling to bend, unwilling to lose face, and unwilling to concede power. For Zhao Lusi, the battle was deeply personal. She had fought hard to secure her place in an industry known for unforgiving competition, and the thought of losing her voice in her own creative journey was unbearable. Every disagreement over a script, every argument over an endorsement deal seemed to chip away at her sense of independence. It was not merely about business, it was about identity, about the right to determine her path as an artist. For Cool Entertainment, the stakes were equally high. She was their crown jewel, the client who had transformed into a household name almost overnight. Losing her would not just mean financial damage. It would be a public admission that they had failed to protect and nurture their most valuable star. The tension escalated with each passing week. Fans began to notice the silence, the lack of new announcements, the absence of Zhao Lusi's once regular interactions. Rumors swirled across social media, each one more alarming than the last, suggesting contract disputes, legal action, or even the possibility of her career being deliberately frozen. To the outside world, it was speculation. To those on the inside, it was a ticking time bomb threatening to explode in the most public and destructive way possible. It is within this atmosphere of fear, uncertainty, and silence that the storm reached its breaking point. Neither Zhao Lusi nor Cool Entertainment could afford to back down, yet both stood on the edge of mutual destruction. The industry braced itself for impact, expecting lawsuits, leaked documents, and years of bitterness to follow. No one could have foreseen the unlikely figure who would step into this chaos, nor the extraordinary turn the story was about to take. While the conflict between Zhao Lusi and Cool Entertainment seemed destined to end in irreparable damage, an unexpected figure quietly emerged from the shadows. Liu Yuning. Known to audiences as a gifted actor and singer, Liu Yuning had built his career on artistry and sincerity, rarely entangling himself in scandals or backstage disputes. His reputation was that of a performer who valued his craft and maintained dignity in an industry that so often traded in spectacle. That is why his decision to step forward as a mediator was so surprising, almost bewildering. Why would a star of his own standing risk stepping into such a volatile situation? What compelled him to take on a burden that seasoned lawyers and professional negotiators had struggled to resolve? Those who witnessed his involvement describe a man both calm and determined, someone who approached the storm not with arrogance, but with an unusual humility. Liu Yuning did not demand authority, nor did he play the role of a power broker. Instead, he listened. He listened to Zhao Lusi's frustrations, to her fears of being silenced, to her need to protect her voice as an artist. He listened to Cool Entertainment's concerns, to their fear of losing their most bankable star, to their struggle to maintain authority without appearing weak. In a world where conversations had long turned into shouting matches, His presence offered something profoundly different: the space to be heard. Industry insiders say that his strategy was both simple and extraordinary. He arranged quiet meetings, sometimes speaking to each side separately, sometimes carefully bringing them into the same room when trust could be rebuilt. He reframed arguments, translated anger into understanding, and reminded both parties of what they stood to lose if the conflict consumed them entirely. It was less the work of a negotiator and more the work of a bridge builder, someone who carried the rare gift of empathy in a business that often rewards ambition above all else. The risk was immense. If he failed, Liu Yuning could have been accused of interfering, of overstepping, even of exploiting the situation for his own image. Yet he pressed forward, not for recognition, but seemingly out of a belief that peace was still possible. His involvement was an act of quiet bravery, one that shifted the entire tone of the conflict. And it was through his patience, his willingness to stand in the middle of two immovable forces, that the impossible suddenly began to feel within reach. The air inside the room was heavy with anticipation. After weeks of tense negotiations and sleepless nights, after countless attempts to reconcile two sides that had been locked in bitter opposition, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. The deal was struck, the concessions made, the fragile balance achieved. All that remained was the symbolic gesture, the handshake that would confirm to the world that peace had been restored. For those present, it felt like the end of a long and exhausting battle, the moment where scars would begin to heal. Yet in that single instant, when Zhao Lusi stood face to face with the representatives of Cool Entertainment, something extraordinary happened. She refused. Witnesses described the moment as surreal, as though time itself had frozen. The room, once buzzing with cautious optimism, fell into silence so sharp it seemed to cut through the air. The extended hand, waiting for hers, was left hanging in the space between them, a symbol of reconciliation denied. In that refusal, Zhao Lusi delivered a message more powerful than words, a statement that went far beyond the contracts and signatures already inked on paper. It was a declaration that trust could not be demanded through ritual, that peace could not be performed for the cameras when the wounds remained unhealed. For some, her decision was an act of defiance, almost reckless in its boldness. They saw it as a rejection of the industry's tradition, a refusal to play along with a system that so often prioritizes appearances over substance. For others, it was an act of courage, a quiet assertion that an artist must protect her integrity even in the face of immense pressure. Fans debated fiercely online, some fearing that her refusal would undo the fragile truce, others celebrating her for standing firm in a moment where many would have simply complied. What made the refusal so striking was not only its rarity, but the vulnerability it revealed. Zhao Lusi, despite the polished image of stardom, showed herself to be human, wounded, cautious, unwilling to pretend that years of tension could be erased with a gesture. Her silence, her stillness, became louder than any statement she could have made. And in that charged moment, the industry saw something it was not used to: an actress choosing authenticity over performance, reality over illusion. It was not just a refusal of a handshake, but a refusal to let ritual mask the truth. That choice, shocking as it was, is what will be remembered long after the negotiations are forgotten. Think about it. How many of us have faced a moment where we could settle, where we could nod, smile, and shake hands even when our heart said no? Zhao Lusi's refusal resonates because it feels deeply human. She reminded the world that reconciliation on paper does not always equal reconciliation in spirit. And so the entertainment world waits. Will this fragile peace hold? Or will Zhao Lusi's silent stand ignite a new wave of battles behind the scenes? One thing is clear. This story is far from over, and Update X24H will be right here to bring you every chapter as it unfolds. Backhand index pointing right if you found this story as fascinating as we did. Don't forget to subscribe to Update X24H, hit the notification bell, and join our community of viewers who love uncovering the truth behind the headlines. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest gesture carries the biggest meaning. Stay tuned because the next twist might be just around the corner.